But let's pick our team for that game. David, I'll come to you first. I think we both know that Alisson Becker will be in goal, but I think there might possibly be a change or two in the back line. Who would you pick if you were Jurgen Klopp?
Yeah, I think it's the centre-half rotation is going to happen again. I think we can see it coming. It'll be interesting to see what sort of happens when, say that if Liverpool do get to the Champions League final, whether Jurgen Klopp sticks to his guns on that one, to go with Matip in the Premier League, Konate in the Champions League, because, would he just then slip into the idea of, okay, this isn't multiple games in a week, I'm just going to go with what I think is my strongest centre-half pairing, and be really interesting to see what he actually thinks that is now, because I think it's been so seamless, hasn't it? Like I said, with 4 clean sheets on the bounce, and there's been rotation at centre-half, and Liverpool haven't missed a beat defensively at all. But, saying that, I do think he's going to do it again for this one. I think, because of the schedule, I think it's best to keep that rotation going. But I think your big guns elsewhere, obviously, are coming back in. You've got Alexander-Arnold after that welcome rest coming back in at right back. And then, so I think Konate, Van Dijk, and then Robertson obviously will keep his place.
Is there any argument, Gorsty, for Kostas Tsimikas to come in? I think we probably both expect Trent to come in. Is there any chance at all that Robertson is going to have a rest at some point in the last few weeks? Could it be this one if he is?
Do you know what, Matt? I always associate you with this question. It seems to be you're always trying to bang the drum for Tsimikas, aren't you?
He tries to get him on the podcast as well.
You big scouser. I mean, if this was maybe a last 16 side, then I could understand that. But I just think go with your best team, as close as possible to your best team. And Tsimikas has done absolutely nothing wrong this season, but I just think Robertson is just in such good form at the moment. I'll be putting him in. One thing that I've always becoming a little bit more surprised about is how often it seems to be Matip for the Premier League and Konate for the Champions League. There doesn't really seem to be any real rhyme or reason for that, other than the fact that it's 2 different competitions. For me, I'd be picking. I mean, Konate hasn't done anything wrong at all, but I just think a settled back line, settled centre back partnership of Van Dijk and Matip is Liverpool's best. So I'd be putting Matip in, but I think it's going to be Konate again on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Konate. I'm going to go for Tsimikas as well. I think he's got to play at some point before the end of the season. And if you're ever going to play him, it might be in this one.
That's it. It's possibly it's possibly his last chance to maybe make that rotation. So, maybe he sees this with a 2-0 lead, and, the rest of the defence and the goalkeeper being pretty strong anyway, maybe he could just throw him in for this one, and that would be his last chance to do so, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I do think Robertson will need a bit of time. Maybe he could come on for the last half an hour. I don't know. 5 substitutes, isn't there? So we'll see. Hopefully we see him at some point. I would like to. Let's move on to the midfield. Of course, I'll come to you first on this one. I think there's probably 2 certainties, given that they didn't start against Newcastle, and then one more.
Yeah, I kind of got the feeling that Klopp was going to go with Keita on this one. Obviously, Thiago and Fabinho are the 2 you're talking about, and Klopp just said something along the lines of, we'll see how many minutes we give him tomorrow, talking about Keita. So I've just got a feeling he might start, and then depending on how the game goes, he might get 30 minutes, 20 minutes rest for maybe Henderson. So yeah, I'll go with Thiago, Fabinho and Keita.
Yep, same for me. I think it's just a toss-up, isn't it, David, between Henderson and Keita? Which way would you go with that one?
Yeah, I think the case at the moment as well is to keep that sort of midfield trio ticking along if they can, because it's looking really strong at the moment whenever they play together, and if you can just keep that sort of partnership building, and we obviously know how good Fabinho and Thiago are together, but I think Keita is really sort of starting to nail down as the 3rd man in that. So I think it's an opportunity to sort of keep that going. So I agree with that.
Gorsty, in terms of the forward line, Mohamed Salah is probably going to come back in, again, similar to Thiago and Fabinho. But then the other 2, no Roberto Firmino, but there is still a couple of choices.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what to do here. Don't know whether to keep Jota down the middle, bring back Mane down the middle, does Diaz start? I think we know Salah's going to start, don't we? And I'm going to go with Salah, Jota, and Diaz.
Yeah, Same here. I think Sadio Mane might have to come off the bench. David, are you going to go with him or keep Mane for the substitutes?
Yeah, no, I was going to keep Mane in. So my thinking was to go Mane up front, Salah, and then Diaz on each side. I just think with Jota sometimes, and this could be crucial in a game like this, I think the ball comes back a little bit too easily from central positions. He doesn't hold it up particularly well, or certainly not as well as Firmino or Mane has done in recent weeks. So I think maybe that'll tempt him to go with Mane down the middle, and then the left-hand side, I think Diaz is just in really lively form, isn't he? Try and keep that going, and Mo Salah, you obviously can't leave him out. So that's my sort of thinking on that one.
Yeah, no, more than fair. I think Diogo Jota, to be fair, did do okay at keeping the ball against Newcastle. I thought that was.
I'm being extremely harsh.
It was actually one of his better sort of performances in that regard, actually, at the weekend. But yeah, completely see where you're coming from. Those are our teams. Then let's do our match predictions as well. I'm going to stick with my usual 2-0 to Liverpool. I think Liverpool probably will keep it tight. I think Villarreal will probably keep it tight for the first hour or so, and then possibly try and go for it a little bit after that. Kosty, how do you reckon it might go?
Yeah, I'm with you on this, Matt. I think it will ultimately be a fairly comfortable evening for the Champions League semi-final. Again, Alexander-Arnold referenced the kind of chaotic nature of the two previous semi-finals against Roma and Barcelona, but don't think there'll be anything near the sort of that tomorrow. So yeah, 2-0 Liverpool.
David, straightforward for you as well?
Yeah, I don't think it's ever going to be in doubt, but maybe if Villarreal open up, they might be able to just nick one. So I'll say 2-1 to Liverpool.
Excellent stuff. All three of us going for fairly comfortable Liverpool wins and into that final in Paris then. But that will just about do us for this edition of the podcast. Plenty of stuff to come across all of the usual places, pre and post-match. Until next time, though, from all of us here, it's goodbye for now.